Well, he was mentioned more than 20 times in the final presidential debate and promptly became an immediate target for some. Helen Jones-Kelly, director of the Job and Family Services Department in Ohio, promptly ordered at least 3 records on Joe the Plumber, checking his taxes, checking whether he'd taken welfare, whether he was behind in his child support, and so on. Now the state says that Helen Jones-Kelly committed a, quote, wrongful act, and the Democratic governor, Ted Strickland, has suspended her without pay for 1 month. But is that enough? And should more be done to the others? Joining us now from Toledo, Ohio, is Samuel Joe Wurzelbacher, now famously known as Joe the Plumber. Hi, Joe.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here with us. You know, I read this Inspector General report and couldn't believe the number of inquiries that have been done into your records. It's not just Helen Jones-Kelly. 18 checks of your records were performed by officials in your state, 14 of which took place within 48 hours of that presidential debate. Is there any doubt in your mind, Joe, that this was political?
Oh, no, there's no doubt in my mind at all. I mean, you know, regardless of your political affiliation, it's pretty obvious there was some type of agenda there. And I'm not big on conspiracy theories, but 14 within the first 48 hours definitely seems like they were looking for something to shut somebody up.
You know, Helen Jones-Kelly, who has now been suspended without pay for 1 month, came out and said, all right, I accept the content of the Inspector General's report. I shouldn't have allowed these searches, but essentially there's a disagreement as to whether these searches were done for legitimate business purposes. So while she seems to be saying she regrets it, she also seems to be implying she did have a legitimate business purpose in looking into all of your records, Joe. What do you think of it?
Well, if they were legitimate, why did she lie? I mean, you know, it says in here in the report I have next to me, you know, ambiguous statements. She contradicted herself. You know, she even had one person try to doctor an email and send it up towards another department. It just, you know, if she was doing it legitimately, why is she contradicting herself in the Inspector General's report? You know, she's going to accept their findings? Well, she's only getting her hands slapped. I mean, 1 month, what she did was wrong, regardless, again, of political affiliations. You know, Republicans, Democrats, I mean, they're all, you know, essentially going to do something like this. And it's been done. And now they want to sweep it underneath the rug. No one's making a huge stink about it, except Fox, who seems to be, you know, upset enough to, you know, go down this road and talk about it and look at it. ACLU's never contacted me. And then the fact that Governor Strickland, you know, he ran on morals and values. You know, what kind of morals and values is this? This lady lied. He put her there. And now he's protecting her.
And just,
you know,
just so our viewers know, you have a good basis for saying that she lied, because the Inspector General of the state said her explanation that it's policy to run these checks on anybody who catapults into the public eye was, and I quote, unpersuasive, and said that he spoke with at least 2 former directors of her same agency who said that is not agency policy at all, and never has been. And he spoke with people in the agency, and their testimony convinced him that she was not being truthful when she said this was policy. And this is a person who was the maximum amount of contributor to Barack Obama, who had helped organize Michelle Obama events, who had forwarded names of people who the Obama campaign could tap into for fundraising. And there's no question she's a partisan. You say it's a slap on the wrist. What would you like to see done to Helen Jones-Kelly?
Well, you know, be honest with you. Well, honestly, she needs to be fired. I mean, when you use state resources for personal gain or to attack a private citizen who asked an elected official a question, I mean, that's, you know, a lot of people come up to me on the street and say, you know, you asked a good question, but there's no way I'll ever do that. You know, that scares me. That scares me for Americans, you know, to be afraid to ask our elected officials questions. And look at the kind of consequences this lady's getting. Nothing at all compared to what's happened through my life.
Can you even believe this, Joe? I mean, can you even believe that you, sitting at your home, seeing a presidential candidate come by, going outside and asking a question, have now become this target for some on the left, and certainly for these officials named in this report and in your state government?
No, it's just asinine, honestly. I'm pretty upset about the whole thing. I've worked myself in a frenzy after this Attorney General's, and then finding out that Helen Kelly Jones only is going to get, you know, 1 month suspension without pay. I'm amazed where our country's going, and I'm hoping that, you know, Americans can step up on either side of the fence and say this is just wrong, regardless again of political affiliation. This is wrong.
You know, Joe, you say that the ACLU has not contacted you, which they will do in some cases if they think it's worthy, apparently not in yours. But are you considering legal action? And do you want to see criminal charges brought? Because this is arguably at least a misdemeanor under Ohio law.
No, absolutely. I want to see criminal intent. I want to see, yes, I plan on suing the state of Ohio. This is just, something has to be done. I mean, the tort reform, which I'm for, limits, I guess, $250,000 as far as some type of punitive damage. That's not the point. The money's not the issue. It's just the fact that, a strong statement needs to be sent out to the politicians that, they're there to work for us. And, I mean, they're not protecting my rights. Governor Strickland hasn't protected my right. He's protecting his butt is what he's doing. And, that's wrong. He's supposed to be representing the citizens of Ohio. President-elect Obama should sit there and say, hey, guys, what's going on here? Why is this still being done? I mean, the whole thing is just wrong. As far as
Joe, we got to go because we're up against a hard break. So I apologize for cutting you off, but thank you so much for coming on. All the best to you.